that depends on general aviation airports. Airports are not just pavement and buildings, not just business and commerce. Airports are also for career development, personal adventure, and fun. Airports are for people, too. And you'd be surprised how many people in your community use the airport personally. Most of the more than 600,000 Americans who are pilots fly for recreation and fun, as well as for personal and business transportation. Whether it's just a family outing or a must-do visit to Grandma's house for the holidays, people like you and I put aviation to work for them personally. Many people simply enjoy flying for the challenge and accomplishment it offers, much the same way people master boating, skiing, or golf. It's just like a second family car. Your airport is the gateway to these new personal horizons. You can expand your world beyond the limits of time and distance, out of the question by car. A weekend destination 300 or 500 miles away is an easy one-day trip, even in the slowest of aircraft. And many aircraft are available for rent. In a world with free time in short supply and highways more congested than ever, the airplane puts you above it all and ahead of the crowd. Getting there is truly half the fun. And even on a local flight, you'll escape the everyday, the commonplace. You'll leave earthly problems and hassles behind and realize there's more to life than you ever knew. It's a whole new world of freedom, relaxation, and satisfying accomplishment. And it's available to those with the vision to realize what the local airport can offer them personally. You may not think of aviation as playing a role in the food chain, but it does. Agricultural spray operations are important in assuring our nation's food supply. The U.S. crop yield would drop by 50% without the use of general aviation in agricultural operations. GA airports also serve a critical role in air ambulance and medevac services. When lives are on the line, a pilot shouldn't be searching for a place to land. Time is of the essence. Lives may very well be hanging in the balance, especially when it comes to organ transplants. General aviation airports and pilots also provide important medical assistance through many public benefit flying programs. Private pilots donate their time and their aircraft to transport non-critical medical patients to treatment facilities they could not otherwise afford to travel to. Aircraft are also critical resource management tools. Aerial patrols form the backbone of many state and federal programs, essential for protecting wildlife and wilderness, controlling fires, ensuring damage-free gas and electrical transmission lines, and spotting pollution and other environmental damage. Even commuters driving to work benefit from general aviation.
Checking out Highway 50, very severe traffic conditions.
Radio traffic reports we use to avoid tie-ups and save time on the road. More often than not, they're filed from general aviation aircraft. General aviation airports play an important role in disaster recovery efforts, as we've seen countless times in the aftermath of hurricanes and other natural disasters. For example, first responders depended on GA airports to get help where it was needed after Hurricanes Katrina and Rita devastated the Gulf Coast. And when Secretary of Transportation Norman Mineta flew into Louisiana's Lake Charles Regional Airport to assess the damage firsthand, he talked about the importance of general aviation.
Now, Lake Charles Regional Airport serves the travel needs of over 180,000 residents of southwest Louisiana. And this facility and the other small airports that serve general aviation are absolutely vital to the economy of this area. And they support the energy section or sector of our economy, and as all of you are so very well aware, it powers the national economy.
Virtually everyone benefits from GA, yet airports remain under siege. Complaints about noise are understandably a major concern of opponents. I'm not going to claim an airplane operates as quietly as a submarine, but the fact is the sound level of most general aviation aircraft are substantially lower than many other common sources of sound. A highway or thoroughfare, a siren or horn, or a passing train. These sounds are all much louder than a GA aircraft, but you don't hear as many complaints about them. And those complaints, by the way, are not always directed where they belong. I'm reminded of one airport where a vocal opponent frequently complained about the low-flying planes buzzing his house. It turned out the airplanes were actually military aircraft taking off from the nearby Air Force base. Yet it's not enough to point out to neighbors that they knew there was an airport near the house before they purchased it. We in aviation don't ascribe to the "we were here first" philosophy. Airports and pilots can be, should be, and the vast majority are good neighbors, willing to respect and work with their communities. At some airports, pilots have worked with local community members and elected officials to develop voluntary noise programs. AOPA has produced a video, Flying Friendly, to assist in those efforts. Some forward-thinking states have taken steps to control development near airports to avoid later clashes. Can homes and airports really coexist? Judging by the popularity of residential air parks, the answer is a definite yes. However, we think it's critical that people know a house is located near an airport before they buy it. Unfortunately, lack of proper real estate disclosure laws in some states means prospective home buyers may not know, or they may be told it's rarely used or about to close. That's not fair to home buyers or to the nearby airports. But by far the biggest concern expressed by airport opponents is the issue of safety. We in general aviation are equally concerned about the safety of our aircraft and pilots. We found the public is sometimes unaware of the degree of training and oversight to which pilots are subjected. And the public rarely has the full facts on the subject of accidents. The media tend to sensationalize aviation accidents because they are so rare. General aviation continues to be a safer form of transportation with lower accident rates than traveling by car. But there's always a crash in the news, someone will say. Well, they make the news because they are news in the real sense. They don't happen very often, considering that there are 3 times as many general aviation flights as commercial flights. Over the past 50 years, the GA accident rate has been reduced more than 87%. No mode of transportation can boast such a steady and dramatic improvement in safety. And when mishaps do occur, in the great majority of general aviation accidents, injuries are minor. In too many communities, opposition keeps planning boards from allowing any substantial improvements to airport property. Improvements that, by the way, can often help enhance safety, which opponents claim as their prime concern. And another GA field heads for extinction. Another community loses its wings, green space, and every benefit GA provides to that community. Economic development experts will tell you that in addition to good roads and schools, businesses looking to relocate want a good general aviation airport.
01 Foxtrot is clear for takeoff or rolling.
As one put it, the bottom line, the business aircraft is just as important as tools like computers and phones. The importance of aircraft to the business world brings up a part of general aviation we haven't even touched on: flight training. Remember all those airliners we saw earlier? Where are tomorrow's pilots going to learn to fly them? Pilots learn at GA airports around the country, from facilities based at small grass strips to prestigious institutions like Embry-Riddle University, headquartered at Daytona Beach Airport. 90% of all new airline pilots are trained by private civilian